It is only 8 years since Russia illegally annexed Crimea and stoked conflict in the Donbass region, so we know the danger is real. They have been pursuing a campaign of hybrid warfare aimed at destabilising the country. Just last week, we exposed the Kremlin's plans to install a puppet regime in Kiev. This threatening behaviour towards a sovereign, democratic, independent country is completely unacceptable. It is a clear violation of the commitments and obligations that Russia freely signed up to, from the OSCE Helsinki Final Act and the Minsk Protocols to the Budapest Memorandum, which guaranteed to respect the independence and sovereignty and the existing borders of Ukraine. The only way forward is for Russia to de-escalate, pull back its troops, and engage in meaningful talks on the basis of these existing obligations. That's why the UK is determined to lead the way through deterrence and diplomacy. The Prime Minister will travel to the region this week, and later today the UK will be joining discussions at the UN Security Council to apply further pressure on Russia to take the diplomatic route. I will be flying out to Moscow over the next fortnight. This builds on our campaign of diplomatic engagement over recent weeks and months. I have led calls through the G7, NATO and the OSCE to urge Russia to desist in its reckless and destabilising activities in Ukraine as well as Georgia, the Baltics and the Western Balkans. I've raised these issues directly with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Both the United States and NATO have set out areas where we could explore reciprocal measures to increase transparency, reduce risk and take forward arms control. The ball is firmly in Russia's court. While we're determined to accelerate these efforts, we do so from a position of strength. We are combining dialogue with deterrence, and that's why the Prime Minister is considering options for further deployments of our armed forces to reassure and protect allies on NATO's eastern flank. We're preparing to offer to support NATO with additional fast jets, warships and military specialists. As NATO's biggest spender in Europe on defence, we are prepared to deploy our forces accordingly. We've been very clear that a united alliance would meet any further Russian invasion of Ukraine with massive consequences for Russia's interests and economy. And we're preparing an unprecedented package of coordinated sanctions with our partners, which would impose severe costs. Today, I am setting out our readiness to act. We will be laying legislation before the House that will significantly strengthen our hand in dealing with Russia's aggressive action towards Ukraine. It will go further than ever before. Until now, the UK has only been able to sanction those linked to destabilisation of Ukraine. This new legislation will give us the power to sanction a much broader range of individuals and businesses. We will be able to target any company that is linked to the Russian state, engages in business of economic significance to the Russian state, or operates in a sector of strategic significance to the Russian state. Not only will we be able to target these entities, we will also be able to go after those who own or control them. This will be the toughest sanction regime against Russia we have ever had, and it is the most radical departure in approach since leaving the European Union. Those in and around the Kremlin will have nowhere to hide. We will make sure that those who share responsibility for the Kremlin's aggressive and destabilising action will share in bearing a heavy cost. Their assets in the UK will be frozen. No UK business or individual would be able to transact with them, and should they seek to enter the UK, they would be turned back. Laying this legislation now will enable us to act in concert with the United States and other partners rapidly, multiplying our collective impact. We will use these new powers in a targeted manner designed to damage the interests of those who bear the greatest responsibility for Russia's actions and exert the greatest pressure to change course. I will not say now exactly who we may target or with what measure, but Moscow should be clear that we will use these new powers to maximum effect if they pursue their aggressive intent towards Ukraine. Nothing is off the table. We are also standing with our Ukrainian friends by providing vital support to help them defend themselves.